Some places look so beautiful that they don't even seem real. Western Norway is one of them. Here, mountains rise straight out of the water, waterfalls appear out of nowhere at almost every corner, roads disappear into tunnels carved through solid rock, and tiny villages cling to landscapes so massive that they make you feel impossibly small. The weather only adds to that. In a single day, the sky can shift from sunshine to rain or snow, and from clear mountain views to clouds so thick that they swallow entire valleys. Over the next few days, we'll drive through some of Norway's most breathtaking scenery. We'll drive along fjords, across mountains, see countless waterfalls, cruise through one of the most famous fjords in the world, and soak in the unique beauty of this corner of Norway.
Welcome to Norway.
Our journey begins in Bergen. Often called the gateway to the fjords, this is a natural starting point for exploring Western Norway's dramatic landscapes. We'll come back to explore the city later, but for now, we're heading straight into the scenery that made us want to visit Norway in the first place.
Ready?
We leave Bergen behind, heading straight into Western Norway's fjord country. And before long, we're already surrounded by the kind of landscapes that define this part of Norway, with mornings looking like this. Hello. As we drive deeper into Hardangerfjord, the landscape starts changing fast. The waterfalls become more frequent, the valleys get tighter, and every bend in the road feels like another reason to stop. Until eventually, we don't really have a choice anymore. Our first stop is just ahead.
We stopped to see this waterfall. It's something like Steinsdalsfossen. I'm sure my pronunciation is off, but the cool thing about this waterfall is that you can actually walk behind it and you don't actually get completely soaked, or so they say. Let's see.
Steinsdalsfossen is actually one of the most visited waterfalls in Western Norway, which makes sense. It's right next to the road, you don't need to hike, and there's even a built path that lets you walk behind it in just a few minutes. But what's surprising is actually how quiet it still feels. Even at one of the most accessible waterfalls in the country, there's only a handful of people here.
Hello.
It's very peaceful. There's just the sound of the water and the nature around it. It's one of those places where convenience doesn't seem to take anything away from the experience. We caught Western Norway right at the start of waterfall season. As the snow melts in the mountains in spring, the waterfalls here get stronger, and you start seeing new ones appear along the drive. Not just at stops like this one, but everywhere you look as you drive through the fjords. It feels like the entire landscape is in motion. With scenery like this, stopping for a quick bite isn't always as simple as it looks. There are towns along the way, but the drive can still feel longer than you expect when you're hungry. So we keep a few snacks in the car for a quick bite while looking out the window and taking in this beautiful view. And it doesn't hurt us that it saves a few kroner along the way. And once we're back on the road, it's just more of the same. One stretch of gorgeous, breathtaking scenery after another, but it doesn't get old. Eventually, the road brings us into a small town again. And it's the first proper stop of the day for us.
So you're here in a town called Eidfjord, I believe. I don't know what's the right pronunciation.
Yeah, it's really hard with the names here.
And we stopped for some coffee, and it's really tasty coffee, really cute little place here. And you can see the beautiful mountains there in front of us, seagulls flying around.
We're actually gonna stay for the night here in this town. We booked the hotel room here, but it's not the final destination for us. We're gonna drive a bit more today. I don't know, maybe first we're gonna check in and then drive a bit more to see the beautiful waterfall, which is like maybe 10 minutes drive from here. But yeah, it's really stunning. This little town surrounded by mountains, and you can see all the clouds, mountains still covered in the snow, and it melts a bit on the sun and creates all these waterfalls here.
Yeah, it's amazing. I think so far from what we've seen today, like this is the prettiest area.
Yeah, it's really good.
Let's see some more. Hello. I didn't see you filming me. It's so beautiful. Wow. So you're here in May, and it was sunny like 10 minutes ago, but now it's already very overcast and much colder now because there's no sunshine anymore. And the weather changes a lot here. And even though it's spring, it's still really cold. It's 3 degrees. So it's really important to dress really warm and with layers because it gets cold, then warm, then cold, then warm. So for example, now I'm wearing thermal underlayers, then these hiking pants, wool socks, hiking boots, and this jacket, like this down jacket, plus this rain jacket on top because it rains also quite often, so it's good to have some waterproof outer layers. Well, the seagulls are really loud, I don't know if you can hear them. But yeah, like even though it's cold, it's still amazing, and it looks so beautiful with the clouds on top of the mountains. It's kind of like moody and it's beautiful.
From the town of Eidfjord, the landscape opens up again. The fjord stretches out in front of us, framed by steep mountains on either side. And even on a day like this, with clouds moving low across the peaks, it still feels unreal in scale. This is Hardangerfjord, which is actually one of the longest and deepest fjords in the world. And the closer you look, the more you notice how small everything here actually is in comparison. But as we leave the fjord behind and start climbing higher into the mountains, the weather begins to shift. And suddenly, it doesn't feel like spring anymore.
From the sun to rain and to the snow.
That's insane. We just arrived at one of the famous waterfalls here, Vøringsfossen, or something like that.
Vøringsfossen.
And the weather just changed so quickly. I'm shocked. It was sunny and then it started raining and then it stopped and then it was cloudy and now it's snowing. Like,
yeah, I'm gonna put in the video like how was it 15 minutes ago. A bit wet, like 15-20 minutes drive from here, and it was like sunny. Then on the way here it started raining, and then it started snowing, and snowing heavily actually.
really heavily. And it went from being 3 degrees to now feels like -4.
Yeah, my plan was to fly a drone and capture this beautiful waterfall, but I believe it's not the best weather for the drone.
No, it's snowing way too hard, I think.
So now we're gonna put all our layers and go see how the waterfall looks like.
Let's see, I'm excited.
I hope we can see it.
I don't think so. Look at the view, it's just white.
I can hear it.
But it's amazing the way you did it with all the paths together,
Yeah.
all this.
That's really nice, actually.
And here, usually the people sit and enjoy the waterfall.
See the beautiful view. But the snow is gorgeous. It's like magical, you know. Look, it looks so beautiful. It's so beautiful. We cannot really see a lot because it's really, really foggy. But even though we didn't expect it to snow, I feel like snow makes it special, you know, it's kind of magical. And all the snow-covered trees look so beautiful. It looks kind of Christmas even though it's May. But look at the waterfall, it's so beautiful. And there's this really cool bridge. I'm actually kind of scared of going on this bridge here because it's like so high, but it looks amazing here. I love it. Wow. So this bridge behind me, we just went over it and it's 50 meters above this river. And there's a lot of ice down there. It's beautiful.
And guess what? We just left the place and the weather changed again. So 20 minutes after the heavy snowing and all this, we can even see some sun, and it just stopped snowing. Yeah, it's insane. How fast was it?
But it's okay, because the cold never bothered me anyway.
Yeah, so it's also in this area, it depends on your luck, because it can be sunny and perfect, and the next moment it's just like heavy rain or snow. So
But it's really crazy because it's literally like a 20-minute difference, and the change is extreme. Like, it was so foggy, but now we can actually see the sky, and it was snowing like crazy, and now it's sunny. Like, it's extreme.
yeah,
But it's cool. You experience a lot of different
it's
weather.
cool experience for sure. Ten minutes later.
We get back to Eidfjord as the day comes to an end. But soon, we're back on the road, following the fjords deeper into Western Norway. In this part of Norway, the road doesn't always continue on land. Sometimes, it turns into water instead. And this journey takes us through both Aurlandsfjord and the UNESCO-listed Nærøyfjord, one of Norway's most iconic and dramatic fjords.
We are now in a boat between the town of Vossevangen and Flåm, and this is a boat tour into famous fjords here. I cannot pronounce their names, but one of them is UNESCO Heritage Site. It's one of the most famous fjords here in Norway, and it's really beautiful. This tour actually lasts 2 hours, and we go through both fjords, and the landscape is amazing. Most people are actually inside the boat. There are outside areas too, but it's really cold and windy. So it's cool to go outside, take some pictures, but then inside it's better. They actually have some hot beverages here, so you can have a snack, some coffee while you admire this beautiful nature. And we paid around 65 euros per person for this tour. And the cool thing about these boats is that they're almost fully electric or hybrid, almost all of the tourist boats in this area, because even though this is a very touristy area, Norway wants to keep this place very clean, essentially. So to pollute it as little as possible, they've been making all these boats electric and hybrid over the past few years. So it's actually also really quiet. When you go outside, you don't really hear anything, just the wind. It's beautiful. The nature is beautiful here. Fjords are actually very unique to Norway, and what they are essentially are these very deep bodies of water, like you're seeing here, that formed during the Ice Age, when huge glaciers moved here through these valleys, sort of like natural bulldozers, carving the landscape, and then over thousands of years as they melted, it made way for the seawater to move into these very deep valleys that they created. So the water here is actually incredibly deep, and it's cold obviously. And it's just a beautiful contrast between the blue kind of mirror-like water and then the mountains with all the green, and then you can see the snow on top of the mountains as well. It's gorgeous. You see from time to time there are some tiny little houses there on the side of the mountains, and they say that it's a lot of farms here in this region, and it's just so beautiful. What do you think?
Really good experience.
It's beautiful. It's cold, but it's beautiful.
Yeah, now it's a bit better because the mountains protect from the wind, but the first hour was really windy and cold.
And it's so quiet.
Yeah, you cannot hear the engine of this because it's fully electric.
And the people also don't really talk, so it's just the sound of nature.
Join us in the big garden of Bergen to have a little bit adventure with the history of the Vikings.
We arrived at this town called Flåm or Flam or something along those lines, and it's very cute. It's very tiny, and we're walking along the fjords now to a farm. Let's see. I want to see what this is all about. Apparently it's like a cafe restaurant that's also a farm. They have some animals, you can see them. I'm excited. It's really cool. They have these floating saunas here, and you can book them for like an hour or something, and you pay for a ticket. I'm not sure how much it is, but they have like some private sessions as well. So if you just want to go by yourself, you pay a little bit more, and you get the sauna for like an hour. And with this beautiful view, it's amazing.
Flåm sits right at the end of the fjord, surrounded by steep mountains on all sides. And just outside the town, there is this small farm with coffee, open space, and animals moving around freely, with the fjord just a short distance away. It's one of those places where you just sit down for a bit to take all this beauty in.
Oh, they're so cute. Look at you. Hi. They're waggling their tails like dogs. Hi. Yay. I'm in love. No. You're such a cutie. Hi. I don't have any food. They have a swing here. It's so cool, but it's kind of scary. I love it. So this train behind me is really famous for being one of the most scenic rides in the world. Apparently the view is really, really beautiful. It goes all the way here from Flåm up to these mountains behind me to a town called Myrdal. And from there, people usually take another train from this town to Bergen. And these two trains plus the boat we were in right now, they're part of what they're called Norway in a nutshell, which is a very famous and popular route here to discover this area of the country. We are not going to have time to go on the train right now, but we are going to actually take another famous train here later down this week, in a few days. So Norway is apparently one of the countries with the highest number of tunnels. But the crazy part about these tunnels is how long they are, because they go inside these mountains along the fjords. And right now, actually, we're in a tunnel that's 11 kilometers long. And yesterday we went through a couple of tunnels that were so long, they actually had roundabouts inside the tunnel. I've never seen that before in my life. What do you think about driving inside a tunnel for 11 kilometers?
It's crazy. Especially after that, when you get out of the tunnel and the difference in the light, it's like you get used to the dark and then it's like a bit crazy.
Yeah, it kind of hurts your eyes.
So, for example, now we're going from one city to another, and almost the whole pass is a tunnel. We have an 11 kilometers tunnel, and now we're going to enter another tunnel which is like 5 or 6 kilometers. And that's it. And like maybe 10 minutes outside. Now we got
now
out
we're
of the
outside
car.
of the tunnel. And there's going to be another tunnel.
Yes, and now we're going to enter another tunnel, which is going to be like 5 or 6 kilometers long.
Fun fact about Norway, lots of tunnels.
From here, the road starts to climb higher into the mountains again. A winding road that follows the edge of the fjord as we rise above it. The landscape opens up, then tightens again as we follow the edge of the fjord and move through the curves. And every turn feels like the view changes completely as we head towards one of the most well-known viewpoints in this part of Norway.
So we just arrived at the Stegastein Viewpoint, and it's about 650 meters above the fjords, and it's quite the ride up here. The road is crazy. It's super winding, and it seems like it only fits one car at a time, but it's supposed to be a two-way road, so it's a ride. But the view is amazing. I'm shocked. I've never seen anything so beautiful, and the sun is shining. It's perfect. It's the perfect day to come here. So they have this little platform here where you can come and enjoy the view, and it's amazing. You can see the entire fjord where we were on the boat down there, and then you can see the mountaintops with the snow. It's amazing.
From Stegastein, the landscape opens up completely. The fjord stretches far below, cutting all the way through the valley, and the mountains rise from both sides, layer after layer, fading into the distance. From up here, the scale of it feels almost unreal, like the land just keeps going and going without an end. You really see how the fjord isn't just a body of water, but the main shape of everything around it. The villages, the roads, the small patches of land, they all follow its line, tucked into whatever space is left between rock and water. From below, Stegastein almost disappears into the mountains, just a point high up in the cliffs looking over the fjord. We continue on through the mountains, where the roads keep shifting between open views and tight passages through rock. Even along the way, there are some small unexpected moments, like animals out in the open landscape like this. Gradually, the landscape begins to change, and the sense of isolation slowly fades as we arrive in Voss.
So we're on the way back to Bergen right now, and today is the last day of our road trip. So we're gonna go to Bergen and return the car, and then we're gonna spend a couple days there. And we stopped at this town called Voss, and apparently this town is kind of like the Norwegian capital of sports or something like that, from what I understood. You see a lot of people here wearing like hiking outfits. They go hiking from here, rafting. You see a lot of people paragliding here. There's also some ski resorts around the area. There's a famous gondola here called Voss Gondola. So you can go up to the mountain, and from up there there's like a ski resort, which I'm not sure if it's running right now because it's May and we don't really see a lot of snow from here. But still you can go up to see the view. And it's a really cute town. It's much bigger than the ones we went through yesterday. And it's beautiful. I really like it here. We're just enjoying the beautiful weather with some coffee, nice pit stop. Recommended. What do you think of Voss so far?
Cute little town. I don't know if it has much to do, but for a coffee and little walk, it's perfect.
Yeah, it's really cute. And apparently, I was reading that a lot of famous Olympic skiers and snowboarders from Norway are from this town, or they trained in this town, because it's like these mountains are really good for winter sports and stuff, so that's also why this town is famous. Cool. Fun fact for you. Something really unique that you see all around the Norwegian countryside is houses like this one behind me with grass growing on the roof. And actually this is a very old tradition here. It goes back thousands of years and it's for insulation actually. So they have this thick soil with grass on top to protect the wood beneath it from snow and just moisture in general, and it keeps the house kind of warm in the winter. It's really cool.
Is really well developed, and a lot of people can actually discover all of these beauty places with the train and buses, but it's always great to have a car and have a lot of flexibility, so you need to wait, like you need to align with a group. You can always just wake up, have breakfast and go to a place you want and stay as long as you want.
True.
And also it's important to choose the right car. But in Norway they promote electric cars. I think it's they take the first place in Europe by number of electric cars they sell.
They have a lot of charging stations. I think the highest number of charging stations.
Yes, the highest number of charging stations, and also the prices are way cheaper to rent an electric car. Sadly, we couldn't try it out and see how it's good with the charging station and everything, because
we wanted to.
Yeah,
we booked an electric car,
but they didn't have. So the only option they had to get an upgrade. We got this Volvo 690, which is an amazing car. It's like a premium with all the stuff, and it's quite big, of course, for the people. But yeah, it's really comfy.
But we wanted to try an electric car, but we couldn't. It's okay. But it's so beautiful here.
From here, we continue west towards Bergen, a city we'll properly explore in the next part of the journey. And from there, we will continue even further, from Bergen to Oslo across one of the most scenic train routes in Norway, and then exploring the capital itself. So, if you want to follow the rest of the trip, that's where we'll be heading to next. See you in Bergen!